It was a sun-drenched morning in Maplewood, where the scent of fresh coffee mingled with the sounds of laughter from children playing outside. Tyler Matthews stood on the threshold of his newly built home, the culmination of years of dreams, sacrifice, and hard work. He was an ordinary man, a steadfast husband and devoted father, known in his community for his unwavering loyalty. The house was more than just bricks and mortar. It was meant to be a sanctuary for his family, a symbol of stability. Just a few weeks ago, he and his wife Eleanor had celebrated the final inspection, their laughter echoing in the hallways that would soon be filled with memories. But beneath that facade of happiness, a storm brewed, a tempest that would unravel everything he believed in. Tyler was accustomed to creating a bubble of trust, investing emotionally and financially into his family. He had always believed that commitment was mutual, a bond rooted in shared dreams. After years of endless overtime shifts and nagging self-doubt, he felt he was finally seeing the fruits of his labor. However, this delusion would soon shatter, leaving only the jagged remnants of betrayal. Days later, he felt a sense of unease as he returned home late from work. Something had changed. The familiar warmth of Eleanor's smile felt replaced by a steely coldness he couldn't quite place. That evening, he found her phone buzzing incessantly on the kitchen counter. The screen flashed a name he had never seen before: Jacob. At first, he dismissed the thought, telling himself it was a colleague needing help. However, a gut feeling gnawed at him. Something wasn't right. The following days were filled with slipping suspicions. Eleanor's late-night texts, her hurried phone calls, and the fleeting moments of distraction when he walked into the room set off alarm bells that he could no longer ignore. Each time he confronted her, she would respond with vague excuses and feigned innocence. The trust and stability he had built began to feel like a lead weight dragging him down. The climax came one fateful afternoon when Tyler, unable to contain his curiosity any longer, decided to take matters into his own hands. A friend shared a tip that opened the door to a reality he never wanted to face. Eleanor was not just texting Jacob. She was having an affair. That evening, driven by a raging anger and desperation, he discovered the undeniable truth when he stumbled upon intimate messages exchanged between them. Not just words, but expressions of love that pierced his heart like 1,000 daggers. "Ty," she had written with an emotion he had only known long ago, "you make me feel alive in a way I never thought possible. You and I, forever." Tyler's heart raced as he pieced together the hidden narrative. As if a veil had been lifted, memories of Eleanor's late nights away, the subtle sense of other men's colognes clinging to her clothes, all came crashing down on him. Each recollection felt like shards of glass, slicing through the fabric of his past. His gut twisted as the realization settled in. She had invited Jacob into the home they had built for each other, the sacred space of their supposed partnership. Fueled by a mixture of anger and shock, Tyler prepared his response. This was not just about heartbreak, it was about justice. She would not get away with this treachery. Summoning every ounce of resolve, he called a trusted friend, Aaron, a lawyer who had experienced countless cases of infidelity. "No more running away from the truth, Aaron. I want to hit them where it hurts," Tyler stated bluntly. The icy resolve settling over him like a cloak. The wheels of retribution were now in motion. Soon, plans for a legal battle and public exposure began to take shape. Tyler meticulously gathered evidence, snapping screenshots of the conversations, securing a timeline of Eleanor's deceit. Daily interactions were transformed into meticulous journal entries. He even hired an investigator to dig deeper, uncovering the flaws in Eleanor's alibi as she attempted to maintain the image of a devoted wife. Days turned into weeks, and the buildup to the confrontation grew unbearable. Tyler's emotional storm fueled an inner fire within. This would not be a passive reaction. The moment arrived at the annual Maplewood Charity Ball, an event they had attended together every year. As friends, family, and colleagues mingled, he decided to expose the betrayal in the most public way possible. Under the fickle lights of the ballroom, Tyler's eyes locked onto Eleanor, who was laughing a little too eagerly with none other than Jacob. Clenching his fists, he strode towards them, his heart pounding with each purposeful step. The whispers of guests around him faded into a chattering silence as he reached them. Eleanor, instantly recognizing Tyler's grim expression, paled. "Tyler, wait," she began. But he cut her off, announcing loudly, "Eleanor, is this the life you dreamed of? Bringing your lover to our family's event?" Gasps echoed through the crowd as eyes turned towards them, witnessing the unfolding drama. He pulled out his phone, displaying screenshots of their messages. "Here, everyone, take a look." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. The air felt electrified. Friends turned against Eleanor, pointing fingers and whispering harsh judgments. Years of shared trust and love now reduced her to a spectacle of scorn and humiliation. Her face flushed with a mix of anger and fear, glaring at Tyler. "Tyler, stop! This isn't how it looks," she exclaimed, her voice trembling as the truth laid bare shifted the ground under her feet. Looking at Jacob, he said coldly, "And you? Did you think you'd get away with taking what's mine and playing the hero?" "Enjoy the spectacle," Tyler sneered, relishing the new reality unraveling before him. He could see the cunning smirk fade from Jacob's face as the weight of exposure descended upon him. As Eleanor's world crumbled, Tyler felt a surge of power that he hadn't known before. The satisfaction of reclaiming control over the situation coursed through him, igniting a dark sense of glee as he faced the people who had betrayed him. The laughter that once felt genuine now echoed as hollow mockery, a foreboding indicator of the dark path she had chosen. Stepping back, he gave one last glance at Eleanor, who stood dismantled in the glare of their acquaintances. The satisfaction brought the slightest curl to his lips. This would only be the beginning. So, the battle commenced. Not just for his dignity, but for every shred of destruction Eleanor had wrought on him and their family. No mercy would be shown, for now the real game had begun. In the weeks that followed the explosive confrontation at the Maplewood Charity Ball, the impending storm brewed ominously over Eleanor's world. Tyler Matthews was relentless, channeling every ounce of energy into dismantling the life she had so carelessly built on betrayal. The whispers of her indiscretions ricocheted through the small town, transforming her into an outcast. Friends turned their backs, colleagues whispered at the water cooler, and acquaintances avoided eye contact as if her shame were contagious. Every time Tyler passed by the small cafe they once frequented together, he could visualize how Eleanor had scoffed at the thought of losing her facade. Their dream home was merely bricks and mortar. It was the life they'd constructed upon trust that now lay in ruins. Gone were the days of their shared morning coffees, the laughter ringing through the hallway, the visions of a family blooming in their backyard. Instead, he found solace in the fact that change was finally within his grasp. Underneath his steely exterior lay the burning embers of rage and determination. Initially, he had struggled with the heart-wrenching sting of betrayal, yet that pain had morphed into a fiery resolve, a guiding flame that illuminated the path of revenge. He had become a man of purpose, harnessing his deep-set emotions into a weapon against those who sought to destroy him. Tyler enlisted Aaron, digging deeper into the legal intricacies of divorce, laying plans meticulously crafted to ensure he would emerge victorious. As the divorce proceedings loomed, the strategy unfolded like clockwork. First, they filed for divorce on grounds of adultery, Eleanor's betrayal cited explicitly in every document. Tyler relished watching her strut into the courtroom, the once confident aura replaced with a palpable tension that only he could appreciate. This was not just legal, it was personal. The courtroom drama unfolded like a well-scripted play, with witnesses testifying to Eleanor's character changes, her late nights, and her publicly perceived deviance. Friends who once supported her hesitated, caught between two worlds as they recounted the disintegration of what they thought was a solid marriage. It was painful to witness as she sought sympathy from her community. Whimpering in front of the judge, feigning tears, her attempts to evoke pity fell flat. Tyler watched her with an almost detached curiosity, no longer feeling the pangs of love or the sting of rejection. Instead, he felt pity, but this pity was not for her. It was for the hollow creature she had become, a shadow of the person he once cherished. All the good moments evaporated, leaving behind nothing but a shell that had embraced deceit. The financial fallout became a battleground as well. His lawyer worked tirelessly to unravel their shared finances, compensating for every dollar Eleanor and Jacob had taken for granted during their affair. Credit cards were frozen, and accounts were analyzed under a magnifying glass. He discovered payments that had been siphoned off to fund Eleanor's rendezvous and her cozy evenings with Jacob, indulging in rented hotel rooms, lavish meals, and trinkets of affection that he could barely comprehend. $12,000 on dinners? Tyler had retched upon discovering the extent of her betrayal. Those same funds could have gone towards their children's education or family vacations. But Eleanor had prioritized escapism over reality. With each revelation, rage fueled him. Meanwhile, the collusion with Aaron intensified. This was a calculated war, not just an emotional one. Public humiliation was key to the attack. Every time Eleanor posted a sorrowful update on social media seeking sympathy, Tyler retaliated with his own posts, artfully crafted to elicit awe and support. He curated a narrative, portraying himself as the steadfast family man who had been wronged, evoking nostalgia among mutual friends for the unblemished life they had envisioned together. However, it wasn't just about pity or support. It was about dismantling the fabric of hypocrisy woven through Eleanor's deceitful lifestyle. Tyler executed this with surgical precision, leaking evidence of her infatuation to mutual friends. No one would sympathize with the woman who had shattered the lives of those who loved her, all for a fleeting thrill. Eleanor's name became synonymous with betrayal in the town of Maplewood. Then came the climax of his master plan, as he decided to escalate the confrontation publicly at another significant community event, the annual Maplewood Harvest Festival. Tyler, with a small grin dancing on his lips, baited Eleanor by announcing his candidacy for the town council just weeks prior. His speech would be a stunning showcase of her hypocrisy. On the festival night, surrounded by laughter and the bright lights of the fairground, Tyler stood before a gathering of townsfolk, his eyes scanning the crowd until they landed on Eleanor. She stood awkwardly at the fringe, avoiding eye contact. He stepped to the podium, his heart racing with the thrill of power. "Good evening, Maplewood. Thank you for being here tonight. I want to share my vision for a community built on trust and integrity." He paused deliberately, eyes locking onto Eleanor's. "We all value honesty over deceit, don't we? Yet, some among us occasionally fail to uphold this integrity." Gasps erupted as heads turned sharply, the tension in the air palpable. Tyler laid out his evidence in a compelling and clear narrative, linking personal anecdotes with documented proof. The town had not only heard the rumors, but was finally witnessing the truth behind the brewing scandal. Eleanor turned pale, her body tense, as visibility of her disgrace grew. "This is not an attack, but a necessary reckoning," Tyler continued, his voice steady like a soldier's. "Eleanor Matthews has shattered the trust within our community. As I stand here, I propose we honor the foundations of integrity that define Maplewood." A thunderous applause erupted, propelling Tyler to new heights of exhilaration. The power surged through him. This was a triumphant moment for the ordinary man taking charge. He had seized the narrative and reshaped it to illuminate Eleanor's betrayal, now offering the town an opportunity for renewal. As the festival carried on, the townsfolk's cheers echoed, drowning out the whispers of Eleanor's shame. Tyler felt liberated, the weight of betrayal dissolving under the jubilant atmosphere. No longer a victim, he embodied resilience and transformation. The squeals of children filled the air, yet amid the laughter, the only sound Tyler truly noticed was the deafening silence that encapsulated Eleanor. Days passed into weeks after the festival, and the social repercussions for Eleanor were severe. Friends and acquaintances began distancing themselves, enveloped by shame for even showing her kindness previously. A single glimpse of her in public elicited scornful glares or pitying looks. Tyler watched with satisfaction, the fulfillment of justice manifesting before his eyes. With the divorce proceedings officially underway, Eleanor's reliance on Jacob began to crumble. Faced with the reality of financial dependence that had formed a web of lies, she found herself abandoned as Jacob distanced himself, unwilling to take on the burdens of a woman who had lost everything. "Congratulations, you're finally all alone," he'd say with a smirk every time they crossed paths, as if relishing her fall from grace. As for Tyler, the legal outcomes favored him immensely. He retained not only their home, but also full custody of their children. Eleanor faced monthly alimony payments alongside the inevitable backlash from her community. Each courtroom appearance solidified his triumph and deepened Eleanor's despair. Once the judge finalized the divorce, Tyler received not just closure, but a stark reminder that treachery could never escape unpunished. Wonderland fell away, and in its place stood the raw truth. Love could either be a safe harbor or a treacherous storm, depending on the choices one made. The final confrontation came, encapsulated in an emotional yet cold exchange at their former home, which now bore witness to their complete rupture. Eleanor stood before him, a cleft of desperation etched into her features, eyes sunken. "Tyler, please," she pleaded, her voice quivering. "I'm sorry. Just give me another chance." "Think of the kids." Tyler placed his hands in his pockets, his heart devoid of any residual warmth. "You had your chances, Eleanor. Perhaps it's time you face the consequences of your choices. Your love for Jacob cost you everything. Our family, your friends, your dignity. I owe you nothing now." Her tears began to fall, but Tyler felt no remorse. The betrayal had shallowly woven its roots into their lives, carrying no promise of resurrection. He watched as she slumped away, leaving the remnants of their shattered past littered across the floor like broken glass. The door slowly clicked shut behind her. The ache of a past life may have tangled in his heart, but an exhilarating sense of triumph vibrated throughout him. He had reclaimed his narrative, had taken back not only his house and finances, but his power. Some wounds wouldn't heal, and some betrayals were beyond forgiveness. Empowered and resolute, Tyler Matthews stepped into a new life. In the months following the final confrontation, Tyler Matthews found himself in uncharted territory. The dust from his previous life had settled, yet the path ahead extended into a landscape rich with potential and newfound strength. He had emerged from the ashes of betrayal not merely as a survivor, but as a man transformed. The sunlight of resilience illuminated every moment, casting shadows only where memories of Eleanor lingered. The children were his primary focus now. They had felt the tremors of their mother's betrayal, and while the revelations had been harsh, Tyler was determined to guide them through the emotional aftermath. His son, Lucas, often withdrew into silence, absorbing the seismic shifts in their family dynamics. Meanwhile, his daughter, Sarah, expressed her confusion through art, filling sketchbooks with images capturing both joy and the heartbreak they had experienced. Tyler molded his days around their needs, forging a bond that deepened as they healed together. Family dinners transformed into nightly rituals, filled with laughter as he introduced them to cooking. Meals became their canvas. Every shared pizza and spaghetti night offered a refuge, a reminder of unconditional love amidst a forest of pain. "Can we make it with pepperoni this time?" Lucas would ask, a hint of excitement creeping into his subdued demeanor. With a smile, Tyler would agree, knowing these simple moments stitched their hearts closer together. In their collective healing, he realized that he was no longer simply a victim, but a father reclaiming his role. Through the lessons gained in resilience, every little triumph, a completed homework assignment or a successfully prepared dinner, fueled their fire to overcome the darkness that had once enveloped their lives. As the protective walls began to expand beyond his home, Tyler actively engaged in community events, reestablishing connections after the whirlwind of scandal. He spearheaded local charity drives, bringing together community members to support those affected by financial hardships, a reflection of his own experience with betrayal and loss. His reputation, once tarnished by Eleanor's actions, now bloomed anew under the banner of integrity and empathy. Yet, even as generosity became his hallmark, shadows from the past occasionally encroached. Eleanor's attempts to reinsert herself into their lives grew bolder. She began showing up at school events, her presence a thorn in his side, igniting a simmering anger within. The sight of her, clad in worn jeans and a hastily put-together facade, felt like an affront. "Dad, why does Mom look so sad?" Sarah had once asked, her genuine curiosity tugging at Tyler's heartstrings. He had held her close and replied, "Sometimes people make choices that lead to sadness. It's important to focus on us, on what we can build together." They had learned that responses, especially in moments of pain, could either escalate or dismantle tension. They chose the latter, slowly transforming their home into a bastion of joy amidst the chaos. Tyler's efforts to maintain boundaries regarding Eleanor led to them attending mediation. He approached it with strategic resolve, working to ensure that he was safeguarded legally and emotionally. Confronting her during these sessions proved both challenging and illuminating. He accurately depicted the depth of her betrayals, yet in doing so, he unearthed layers of resentment that demanded acknowledgement. "You've branded our family," he emphasized during one session, his voice steady despite the tide of emotions waging war within him. "You chose this path, and you've left us picking up the pieces. I have given you a chance to do better for the sake of our children. Will you take it?" Eleanor's silence spoke volumes, revealing the remnants of regret festering beneath her stoic surface. Yet her adherence to denial stung, a reminder that her unveiling of emotions had never been the sorrowful farewell Tyler deserved. He felt a sense of closure, recognizing at that moment that he could forgive her actions, but not the consequences of their aftermath. Months rolled into a hard-fought year of progress. With every holiday gathered around the table and every shared story under the night sky, the family built a tapestry of love that warmed their once fractured hearts. However, the final blow came when Eleanor sought to manipulate her way back into their lives. Her latest antics, an attention-seeking social media campaign to win over local support, felt desperate, like a specter seeking validation. "I'm just trying to be a better person," she claimed in an all-too-familiar tone, trying to convince him, and perhaps herself, of her sincerity. Tyler donned an unyielding composure, held firm against her forceful, nostalgia-laden attempts to frame him as the villain. "You can't just rewrite history, Eleanor. You've hurt us, and that is a truth we will not forget. My children are not your props." Each encounter brought clarity, reinforcing the notion that he was no longer a mere bystander to their collective pain. With every rejection, Tyler felt the weight of paternal responsibilities lifting, while Eleanor's struggles unfolded as an acknowledgement of her choices, mirroring the reverberations of public scrutiny she had invited. In a twist of fate, destiny propelled Tyler towards an unexpected alliance. He had developed a profound friendship with Sophia, who had joined his community efforts. Initially a casual acquaintance, their bond deepened over countless organizational spirals. Her kindness and understanding illuminated his darkest days. Together they planned fundraisers, brought new faces into their community, and slowly cultivated an undeniable connection that grew deeper. It was through this bond that Tyler found the strength to confront his lingering feelings for Eleanor. Appreciating the realization, he shared moments with Sophia, reflecting on vulnerability and emotional honesty. One evening, as they stood before the glimmering stars blanketing the night sky, Tyler felt an urge to share a truth he had long buried. "You know, Sophia, I haven't been in a place where I could let my guard down for a long time," he started, tentatively gauging her reaction. "It's hard sometimes to shake the ghosts from the past." With every sunrise, you have the chance to reshape your story, she gently replied, her voice soft yet grounded. You've built a new life amidst the ruins. Don't let those shadows steal the rest of your happiness. Embrace what's left as a new beginning. Her words echoed within him, grounding him in an understanding that life, cyclical in nature, would forever push forward. Yet true temptation came disguised as an unexpected encounter, a public setting where Eleanor dared to intersect their lives once more. Sensing the shift in familiar dynamics, Tyler's pulse quickened momentarily. He had learned to navigate such situations, but the sight of Eleanor approaching him with Jacob beside her sparked old resentments surfacing anew. "Why are you here?" Tyler confronted, his tone more curious than aggressive, though a simmering undercurrent of contempt thrummed beneath his words. "With Jacob here," she started, her voice quavering slightly as she held her head high. "I've found that old wounds can hinder new bonds. We deserve the chance to heal." Tyler narrowed his eyes, a sense of disbelief coupled with bewildered amusement flooding through him. "You mean you deserve forgiveness, but your wounds are of your own making. I abhor how you try to rewrite history and gain full circle validation. The children won't forget." A pained expression flitted across her face, but none of the remorse he had once longed for. Tyler realized then the transformative shield he had erected, entirely forbidding her access into anything resembling a shared future. "What is it you want, Eleanor?" he pressed, his voice unwavering. "Do you seek forgiveness, closure, or are you simply caught in the web of your own deceit?" Jacob shifted, clearly uncomfortable, yet he remained a silent observer, while the camaraderie of their past dissipated into the ether. "I want the chance to start anew," she replied hesitantly, yet there was an unmistakable uncertainty laced in her tone. "For us all. No, you've shown us your true colors." "This is not just about you anymore," Tyler retorted, feeling both liberated and unremorseful. "It's about our children. I can't allow you to make promises that you likely can't keep. They deserve so much more than your half-hearted attempts." He looked to Jacob then, issuing a silent warning. "If you have not pushed her into this with hollow words, be ready for consequences. The cycle of manipulation must end here." Walking away, Tyler felt the burden of shackles relinquishing their grip on him. The encounter had reinforced what he already knew. He wasn't merely a victim entrenched in despair, but rather a soldier for truth, nurtured by the love surrounding him through family and newfound friendship. Several weeks later, days turned into evenings wreathed in laughter, kitchen spills, and endless joy. Tyler, now in a radiant relationship with Sophia, excelled in their shared triumphs together, illustrating to Lucas and Sarah that love could thrive even after betrayal. And in that, he understood that there would always be whispers of past pains echoing through the chambers of life, while simultaneously knowing that true strength lies in the power to forge ahead and leave the remnants of darkness behind. He lived that every day, demonstrating the resilience of the human heart. And surely Eleanor, while roaming through her hollow existence, could never extinguish that flame. With every sunrise, they thrilled at the opportunity of new beginnings, documenting those moments side by side with unwavering determination. For Tyler Matthews, the saga of rejuvenated hope began anew, unfettered from the echoes of betrayal, revealing that sometimes the most triumphant victories lie within the embrace of love reborn. As the months rolled on, Tyler Matthews found himself more deeply entrenched in his new life. The fog of betrayal that had once clouded his existence was now a distant memory, replaced by the warmth and laughter of a family unified by resilience. He and Sophia had forged a genuine connection, one built on shared values and a mutual understanding of the struggles they had both faced. But beneath the surface of their blossoming relationship, lingering shadows occasionally danced at the edges of Tyler's mind, reminders of the tumultuous past that still held sway over his emotions. Sophia had become more than a friend. She was his partner in both parenting and life. The autumn air was crisp with the scent of changing leaves, as they spent weekends hiking, exploring nature with Lucas and Sarah. The children thrived in this fresh environment, their laughter ringing through the woods where once silence had been their refuge. "Look, Dad, I found a perfectly round rock," Lucas exclaimed one afternoon, holding up a smooth stone that glistened in the sunlight. "Great find, buddy. That's going to make an awesome paperweight for my home office," Tyler replied with genuine praise. The small victories of parenting filled him with purpose. Yet, an unforeseen challenge lurked just beneath this surface tranquility. The constant presence of Eleanor, trying to wedge her way back into their lives in desperate attempts to reclaim what was lost. Her social media posts oscillated between blatant support of her newfound self-discovery and veiled attacks on Tyler, painting him as the callous villain in their story. "Ty, she's really trying to get under your skin," Sophia advised one evening as they settled in for a movie night. The two sat nestled together on the couch, cozy under blankets. Her keen observations often felt like a lifeline in moments of uncertainty. "I know, but I refuse to let her define me anymore," he responded, his voice filled with conviction. "Every time I allow her to disrupt our equilibrium, she wins. I have bigger fish to fry now, like building a life without her shadow looming over us." Sophia nodded, a knowing look in her eyes. "You've come so far. Don't let her back in. Remember what you've built. This life, this happiness, is what matters now." Those words became a mantra for Tyler. He needed every ounce of strength to deflect Eleanor's provocations. At times, Lucas and Sarah's struggles concerning their mother became an emotional tightrope, but each time they leaned on one another, they fortified their bond against the tides of uncertainty. One particular evening, Tyler found himself rifling through old boxes in the attic, looking for decorations for Sarah's school project. He stumbled across a collection of family photos that captured moments of joy. Family vacations, birthdays, and Christmas mornings filled with laughter. As he flipped through the snapshots, a wave of nostalgia hit him like a freight train. Memories of a life before the chaos flooded back, leaving him feeling vulnerable in a way he hadn't anticipated. For a moment, he fought the urge to hide those memories. He needed to remember that joy, not to dwell on the pain surrounding it. But the fine line between cherishing those moments and mourning what had been felt almost impossible to traverse. Just as he wrestled with these emotions, his phone buzzed with a message from Sophia. "You good? Remember, embrace the past, but don't be imprisoned by it." His breath hitched as he acknowledged her supportive gesture. Tyler quickly composed himself, recognizing that he had allies in the fight against his inner turmoil. The next day, Tyler resolved to approach the issue head-on. He gathered Lucas and Sarah and initiated a frank discussion about their feelings regarding Eleanor. "I know you both have been thinking a lot about your mom lately," he began, sensing a blend of curiosity and apprehension ripple through the room. "I'd like to hear what you think and feel. Let's talk about it." At first, Lucas fidgeted, avoiding eye contact, while Sarah took a deep breath. "Dad, sometimes I miss the good times." Her voice trembled slightly, betraying all the questions swirling in that small mind. "But I don't understand why she hurt us. It makes me feel kind of confused." Tyler's heart tightened as he listened. "It's okay to miss the good parts, Sarah. But I want you to remember, it's so important to prioritize what's good for us now. Sometimes people don't make the right choices, but we can choose to move forward in a way that builds us up." Lucas sighed, his small shoulders visibly relaxing. "Thanks, Dad. Can we go back to the park tomorrow?" "Of course. In fact, let's pack some snacks and make an adventure out of it. I'll whip up some homemade trail mix tonight," Tyler said cheerfully, relieved to witness the transformation in their emotional landscape as they shared their truths. Just as they started to heal, another curveball arrived. One afternoon, Matt, a mutual friend from their former life, reached out with urgency. "Tyler, have you seen Eleanor's latest post? You might want to have a look. It's blowing up on social media." Curiosity piqued, Tyler opened the post. There was Eleanor, dressed to the nines and declaring her determination to reclaim her life. Yet beneath the surface glimmer, she had veered dangerously close to manipulation, spinning stories that distorted reality. She painted a picture of Tyler as the villain, claiming he had withheld the children from her for no reason and was intent on ruining her life. Unbelievable, Tyler muttered, anger boiling within him like molten lava. Are you going to address this publicly? Matt inquired cautiously. Absolutely, he replied, determination crystal clear in his voice. I've played nice long enough. This time, I'll defend my name. With an unyielding resolve, Tyler prepared a response that highlighted the truth without devolving into vindictiveness. He refused to let bitterness dictate his actions, opting instead for clarity and compassion. He crafted a carefully structured post that laid out details, how he had always encouraged Eleanor to maintain a relationship with the kids, how he had protected them during her turbulent choices. The children are my priority, not the drama she's trying to stoke. We've rebuilt our lives, and they deserve not to be pawns in this game anymore, he drafted, his heart pumping with adrenaline as he made the painstaking effort to genuinely portray the situation. Later that evening, as Tyler prepared for his post to go live, he felt Sophia's presence beside him, a comforting anchor. You're doing the right thing, she told him, placing her hand over his. This isn't about revenge. It's about speaking your truth and protecting your family. Exactly, Tyler affirmed, invigorated by her support. There was a palpable shift in the atmosphere, almost as if the weight of Eleanor's attempts to manipulate him was evaporating. With a few taps on the screen, he posted his message, inviting his followers to view the unfiltered reality of his family's life. His own words were damning yet grounded, exuding both strength and empathy toward Eleanor's fragility. As likes rapidly cascaded, comments from friends and family began to pour in, supporting Tyler's stance. We all know the truth, Ty, one friend remarked. You're a great dad, and the kids are lucky to have you. Minutes turned into hours as Eleanor's outburst tangled with public opinion. Responses to her post began to shift, revealing skepticism among their mutual friends. Conversations that had once circled in her favor found themselves twisted in his direction as more people began to speak out against her manipulation. The next day, Tyler received an unexpected message from Eleanor. How could you do this to me? I'm trying to make things better, yet you choose to disgrace me publicly. He read the words with disbelief, the familiar bitterness creeping into his psyche. You made your choices, Eleanor. I'm stepping forward. There's no room for victimhood here. He typed back firmly before hitting send. Her response echoed with desperation, expressing deep feelings of abandonment. Yet Tyler recognized it as nothing more than theatrics and manipulation. The days went on, and Lucas and Sarah visibly thrived, buoyed by the collective support they received from their friends and community. One evening at dinner, as they shared stories and laughter, the atmosphere felt lighter than air. In the wake of conflict, Tyler received news that Eleanor's attempts for reconciliation had fallen flat. Whispers turned into laughter among friends regarding her fabrications. Dad, Lucas began, a hesitant excitement in his voice. Can we keep making new memories? Like going to the beach this weekend? Absolutely. The world is our oyster, Tyler replied, beaming with pride and gratitude. And as they planned their joyful adventure ahead, he realized that, despite the challenges to come and the ghosts from the past, they were carving out a life filled with authenticity, woven with threads of love and hope. Tyler understood that it was the unwavering bond between father and children that had become his greatest triumph, a testament to the resilience of the human heart and the unyielding spirit that propels one forward. The embers of joy had ignited into a wildfire of strength, illuminating the path he had forged for them all, leading into a future decorated with limitless possibilities. No longer haunted by betrayal, he was resolute in navigating the ensuing battles with grace, commitment, and love, the true treasures of life. As Tyler and the children prepared for their long-awaited beach trip, his heart filled with a mixture of excitement and anticipation. They piled into the car early on a Saturday morning, the sun just beginning to pierce through the twilight haze. On the ride, the playful banter between Lucas and Sarah echoed through the vehicle, a melodious soundtrack replacing the heavy silence that had once engulfed their home. "Dad, can we make sandcastles?" "The biggest one ever!" Lucas exclaimed, bouncing in his seat. "Of course! I'll be the architect, and you two can be the builders." Tyler laughed, feeling the thrill of the day unfold before them. The prospect of new memories stood before him, and he was eager to embrace every moment. As they arrived at the beach, the sound of waves crashing against the shore enveloped them. The salty breeze tousled their hair, and as Tyler watched his children race toward the water, he felt both pride and gratitude wash over him. This was their opportunity to reconnect with the joy that had been missing for far too long. Setting up their spot on the sandy shore, Tyler took in the vastness of the ocean. The glimmering expanse mirrored the openness of his own heart, now unencumbered by past weight. The sun, rising higher in the sky, felt like a warm embrace of reassurance. He relished the simple act of seeing his children laugh, splashing in the water, their joy untainted. "Hey, Dad, look what I can do!" Sarah called out as she leaped into the surf, her grin radiant and carefree. "Awesome! Now you have to show me how to do a backflip," Tyler replied, his voice brimming with encouragement. The hours passed, the sun slowly carving its own path across the sky as they constructed elaborate sandcastles and played games along the shoreline. They shared laughter, soaked up the warmth, and indulged in ice cream as the sun began its descent. Tyler felt more alive than he had in years, rejuvenated by the energy radiating from his children. Later that evening, as they settled around a fire pit, the scent of roasting marshmallows mixing with the salty air filled Tyler with a sense of belonging. They recounted stories from the past and dreams for the future, the flickering flames casting an amber glow that underscored their laughter. "Do you think Mom will ever come back?" Lucas asked suddenly, his voice small but filled with curiosity. Tyler paused, the question hanging in the air like a fragile thread. "Boys and girls sometimes take different paths, and that's okay," he began, choosing his words carefully. "What matters most is focusing on the love we share as a family, our little team. We can't control others, but we can choose to create our own happiness." A contemplative silence fell over them momentarily as Sarah whispered, "I kind of miss when we all did stuff together." "I understand," Tyler replied gently. "Sometimes it's okay to feel that way, but remember, we're building something new that's special too." He watched as their expressions shifted from longing to affection, the warmth of shared memories somehow comforting. The return home was filled with chatter about the next adventure, and each mile further solidified the bond that had grown stronger between them. Moments like these served as a reminder that the scars from the past, while painful, could coexist with the joy of the present. Back in their neighborhood, life resumed its rhythm. School days filled with homework, evening conversations, and weekend outings reinstated the sense of normalcy they had fought to achieve. Tyler found himself growing into an unwavering protector, one who nurtured their roots while ensuring the branches reached toward new horizons. Yet the specter of Eleanor lurked in the background, and Tyler knew he couldn't completely ignore her. Despite the decision to keep boundaries, he encountered her during school events and town gatherings, each intersection bringing with it a rush of unresolved emotions. One chilly evening, as he attended a parent-teacher meeting, Tyler spotted Eleanor across the room, her presence striking like lightning. They exchanged strained smiles, yet he felt an instinctive urge to approach her. "Tyler!" she called, pulling him aside once the room began to clear. "Yes?" he replied, wary but willing to engage in the conversation. "I've been thinking a lot about our family," Eleanor started, her voice shaky yet laced with an urgency that made Tyler uneasy. "I know things have been tough, but I want to figure out a way to be more present for our kids. They need their mother." Tyler's heart hardened. "Eleanor, this isn't about you. You made your choices. Your attempts to rewrite this story won't work. The kids deserve honesty, and that means facing the reality of what you've done." She flinched, his words hitting her like a cold wave. "I understand I made mistakes," she replied, desperation in her tone. "But I want to mend things. Please let me prove to you that I can be there for them." He studied her expression, noticing the mix of regret and stubbornness flickering like a dying ember. Tyler wanted to believe her, but years of betrayal seeped into his recollections. This isn't a game, Eleanor. Trust was shattered, and you'll need to earn it back. I'll facilitate a meeting with the kids if you can guarantee that this isn't about you. This is about them. Eleanor nodded, tears glistening in her eyes, yet Tyler felt no surge of sympathy. He had seen her act before, and this time felt different, not better. Indifference replaced the love he once felt, transforming that love into a deeper understanding of his own worth. As the weeks passed, they arranged a meeting at a local park, a neutral ground where the children could safely engage with their mother. It was a tense scenario to navigate, one that Tyler approached with trepidation. The day arrived, and he arrived early, watching the environment fill with families enjoying picnics, and the laughter of children echoing against the backdrop of the swinging park set. When Eleanor arrived, her nervous energy was palpable. She approached the bench where the children waited, and Tyler stood nearby, a vigilant guardian. "Hey guys, I've missed you so much," she said, her voice cracking slightly. "Hi, Mom." Lucas responded with a hint of hesitation, while Sarah was more inquisitive, studying her mother intently. Eleanor filled every silence with apologies and memories, desperately grasping for a connection that felt long misplaced. Tyler could see his children cringe at moments of sincerity. They yearned for authenticity, but were wary of the uncertainty surrounding Eleanor's motives. The meeting became a chaotic blend of joy, awkward tension, and faint flickers of hope. "Can we go out for ice cream later?" Lucas asked, eyes glimmering with cautious optimism. Eleanor's face lit up, but Tyler interjected before she could respond. "Let's take it one step at a time," he said firmly. "The trust will take time to build, and we want to know you're here to stay." Silence filled the air, each child's gaze shifting between their mother and Tyler. He could sense their anxiety, but each moment displayed strength, a testament to the journey they had undertaken together. Eleanor nodded, her spirit flickering with uncertainty. "I promise to be better for all of you." As the hours stretched on, they navigated tentative moments of laughter intertwined with painful reminiscing. Tyler remained vigilant, feeling the lingering responsibility of protecting his children. After they concluded their meeting, Tyler reassured Lucas and Sarah, watching their smiles illuminate after a certain comfort had reformulated. "Remember, trust takes time," he reiterated. "No one is perfect. We can grow together, but we must do it slowly." In the days that followed, Eleanor attempted to reach out again, earning subtle moments in their lives, cautiously exploring the possibilities of her revitalized role. However, Tyler remained steadfast in protecting their traditional family time. He made it clear to Eleanor that visitations would require clear boundaries. She needed to earn it each step of the way. Every time she engaged with him, he watched his kids weighing her efforts, observing their gradual shifts. The reality was that the path to reconciliation was challenging. Trust, once broken, was not easily restored. Yet within this mix of emotions, a glimmer of hope emerged, symbolizing gradual healing, a testament to the fights endured thus far. Though the shadows of their past would occasionally seep into the daylight, Tyler stood firm, not allowing them to consume his family nor surrender to bitterness. He continued to savor every new day as a step forward, focused on solidifying their bond while acknowledging the complexities of love, forgiveness, and the beauty of second chances. In the end, the road was still long, their journey one of perseverance, but the essence of their collective strength rang louder than the echo of betrayal. Tyler Matthews, now an unfaltering champion of his family, cultivated a reality enriched with love, stability, and hope. He understood that life's trials can be reshaped into a masterpiece, forming a legacy that would outlive him. This unity was the true definition of their family, the vibrant, unwavering love that transcended the wounds, weaving together a future filled with endless possibilities. As the summer days rolled into autumn, The Matthews family continued navigating their new reality, forging ahead while cautiously integrating Eleanor back into their lives. Each interaction was like a delicate dance, uncertain yet hopeful, rich with emotion and fraught with complexity. Tyler Matthews felt a sense of duty to protect his children, while granting Eleanor the opportunity to prove herself. But the struggle between his desire for closure and the hope for reconciliation often left him mentally and emotionally drained. One Friday evening, while preparing dinner, Tyler found himself in a contemplative mood. The sounds of Lucas and Sarah playing in the living room provided a comforting backdrop, their laughter filling the home with warmth. As he sautéed vegetables, memories of their family at the beach flickered through his mind, a bittersweet reminder of how far they had come. Glancing around the kitchen, now a hub of life and activity, he felt a connection to the past, his triumphs over adversity, layered with hope for the future. Just then, the doorbell rang, jolting him from reverie. He wiped his hands on a towel and opened the door to find Eleanor standing on the porch, her expression a mix of apprehension and determination. "Hey, surprised to see you," he said, cautiously allowing her inside. "I hope it's okay. I wanted to check in on the kids," she said, her voice softer than he remembered, revealing a vulnerability that caught him off guard. "Of course, they're in the living room," he replied, stepping aside to let her enter. As she walked in, the children perked up, their attention shifting from the television to their mother. "Mom!" Sarah exclaimed, racing toward her with open arms. Tyler watched as Eleanor knelt to embrace her daughter, a long moment that seemed to compress every emotion both had ever shared. "Hey, sweetheart, I missed you," Eleanor replied, her voice barely above a whisper. Lucas joined in, albeit more cautiously, standing at a distance, yet unable to mask the excitement bubbling beneath the surface. After a few minutes of animated conversation, Tyler rejoined them, but he remained a vigilant presence at the periphery. He felt protective instincts surge within him, and he couldn't shake off the nagging whispers of doubt that danced at the back of his mind. As they settled into cushions, Eleanor suggested they play a board game. "How about Scrabble? It's been so long since we all played together." Tyler suppressed a sigh, knowing this casual offer was steeped in nostalgia. "Sure, but let's keep it competitive. There are a few house rules," he quipped, attempting to neutralize any underlying tension and keep the mood light. The game began, laughter punctuating each turn as they battled for points. Tyler marveled at how exhilarating it felt to watch Lucas and Sarah interact with Eleanor, their unease slowly dissolving in the warmth of shared memories. Nevertheless, he remained attuned to their reactions, keenly observing small signs of apprehension or joy. As the game progressed, he found himself reminiscing, recalling how they used to spend stormy evenings huddled around the table, feasting on popcorn as they competed fiercely. This seemed like a glimpse into the past, a corruption of what had once been perfect but tinged with pain. Yet, through the laughter and competitive banter, hope unfurled like a fragile leaf in the spring. Later that evening, as the children headed off to bed, Tyler stood in the kitchen with a glass of iced tea, relief washing over him alongside an unfamiliar anxiety. "Thanks for spending time with them, Eleanor," he said, leaning against the counter, trying to glean insight into her intentions. "It was nice to see you with the kids again." "I want to be part of their lives," she replied, a note of determination in her voice. "I know I've made mistakes, but I want to show them I can be a good mother. It's what they deserve." Tyler met her gaze, searching for sincerity. "You'll need to keep proving that. Every chance you have, show them that you're here for good. Trust is hard-earned, and it can't be taken lightly." "I understand," she murmured, a flicker of defiance flashing in her eyes before it died down. "I will do whatever I can to earn it back, Tyler. I miss being part of the family." With that, she turned to leave, leaving Tyler with a mixture of hope and skepticism rolling within him. As he watched her walk away, he couldn't ignore the faint echo of what used to be, a family that had been torn apart and desperately needed healing. The next few weeks saw Eleanor making an effort. She attended school events, participated in volunteer activities, and often reached out for the children to spend more time with her. Tyler observed her actions but maintained a cautious distance, He reaffirmed boundaries while finally allowing the children to navigate their relationship with their mother on their terms, a significant step toward healing the fractured pieces of their lives. At home, he and Sophia flourished, their love blossoming in the backdrop of a complex situation. They would often share quiet evenings together after the kids had gone to bed, conversing about their day and offering support to one another. Their connection deepened with each moment, solidifying Tyler's understanding of what a healthy relationship should look like. One late evening, while snuggled on the couch, Sophia leaned over and kissed Tyler's cheek. "You've done an incredible job with the kids, through all this chaos. No matter what's happening around you, you've built them up in ways that are immeasurable. Thank you. It hasn't been easy, but they've made it worthwhile. Every challenge they face, I want them to know they're loved and safe. That's what makes you a wonderful dad," she reassured him. "I truly believe there's a way forward for all of you. Eleanor needs to find her path too, but you're her best opportunity. But I won't let her mistakes define our lives anymore," he countered, feeling a surge of protective instinct. "I know," she replied softly, "but we can't close the door on her completely. Remember, we want to encourage the kids to create their own relationships, even if it's difficult for us as parents." As weeks turned into months, Eleanor gradually became part of the fabric of their lives. One sunny Saturday afternoon, Tyler agreed to a picnic in the park, a casual outing that felt loaded with tension. He packed sandwiches, fruit, and drinks, sensing a convergence of past and present. The air was thick with fragility, yet opportunity lingered in the breeze, filling it with hope for something more. At the park, they set out a blanket beneath a sprawling oak tree, the kids eagerly devouring sandwiches while Tyler remained alert, watching every interaction evolve. "This is fun," Sarah exclaimed, her eyes brightening as Lucas launched into a playful monologue about his latest school project. Eleanor leaned in, connecting genuinely with their conversations, drawing them in with stories about her job, asking meaningful questions. Tyler recognized the subtle shift as he watched the children enjoy their mother's company. It was as though they were tentatively reaching out, trying to find a bridge that could repair the rift. A smile tugged at the corners of his mouth in spite of his guarded heart. "Let's play tag," Lucas shouted, jumping up and running a few paces before beckoning the others. With the children chasing each other around, Tyler watched Eleanor beam with joy, her laughter weaving into the atmosphere like the fabric of a quilt, fragile yet comforting. In that moment, he felt hope rise, mingling with uncertainty. It was evident that Eleanor was trying, and he began to wonder if this earnest effort was the pivot they so dearly needed. But as the evening drew to a close, he sensed that shadows from their tumultuous history still lingered, not fully dispelled, but perhaps transitioning into a more transparent acceptance of who they were now. Despite his fears, he recognized that he couldn't protect his children from the complex reality of life. They deserved the chance to explore relationships with empathy and love. As they packed up their belongings, Eleanor lingered, looking contemplative. "Thank you for today, Tyler. It felt good." He nodded, appreciative yet cautious. "You have a long road ahead of you. Keep working toward being a better person for them." In that moment, he felt the weight of their shared history, the pain, the loss, and the hope for redemption. It tethered them together, yet each could choose how to move forward, learning from the scars that shaped their lives. As they drove home, Tyler felt the atmosphere in the car buzzing with energy, the possibility of what lay ahead tangible. He glanced at Lucas and Sarah, watching their delight spill into the corners of the car. It was in their joy that he found his own resilience and strength. Things would still be complicated. The lines between disappointment and forgiveness were still hazy. However, as the sun dipped below the horizon, tinting the sky with vibrant colors of orange and purple, Tyler felt an inkling of confidence. They were moving forward step by step, and somehow they would find their way through the tangled web of life together. Together, they were charting a new course, forging ahead into the future, which shimmered with renewed hope, love, and the acceptance of life's complexities. For Tyler Matthews, Family remained at the heart of his resolve, guiding them closer to the solid ground they longed to reclaim. The months that followed would be psychedelic in nature for Tyler Matthews, as he navigated the exciting, turbulent waters of co-parenting with Eleanor, while nurturing the blossoming relationship he had with Sophia. Patterns began to emerge, both good and bad, as Eleanor tried to establish her place within their family. Tyler approached the situation with cautious optimism. They continued to arrange outings with the children, balancing each encounter like a tightrope walk. Sandy afternoons at the beach were punctuated by laughter, and dinners spent cooking together brought them closer. For every moment of joy, however, there were jagged reminders of betrayal, whispers that followed Tyler as he hesitantly gave Eleanor room to grow. One evening, as they prepared for a family barbecue to celebrate Sarah's 9th birthday, the air in the kitchen buzzed with anticipation. Lucas entered, excitement shining in his eyes, clutching a bunch of brightly colored balloons. "Look, Dad, I found them at the store," he said, beaming. "Great job, buddy." "We'll need these for the party," Tyler replied, the warmth inside him growing as he thought of how far they'd come. Sophie arrived shortly after. "I can't wait to see Sarah's face when she sees the cake," she announced, carrying a beautifully crafted chocolate cake topped with rainbow icing. "Good thing I brought extra frosting just in case," Tyler quipped, chuckling at the frivolity of birthday parties, the chaotic beauty of it. The event unfolded seamlessly, laughter echoing through the backyard as friends arrived, bringing with them gifts and good cheer. The children reveled in the ambiance, chasing each other between bubbles and games, their joy palpable. Tyler sat back, a watchful father admiring the scene unfold. Sophia flitting around, happy children, and even Eleanor mingling with other parents, holding her own. "Hey, Ty." Sophia leaned over, her voice low but warm. "You're doing amazing with all this. Look at your kids. They're so happy." "Thanks," he replied, briefly meeting her gaze before turning back to the party. "I just wish it didn't come with so many complexities." "Life is complex. Just look at this day. Joy and chaos intertwined," she said, her tone airy but grounded. "What matters most is how you respond to it." However, despite the festivities, a tempest loomed nearby. The vibrant atmosphere could only suppress Eleanor's uncertainties for so long. As guests began to leave, Tyler noticed Eleanor getting increasingly distant, her smile fading as conversations turned sour. "Tyler," she approached him, her tone shifting from lighthearted to serious. "Can we talk privately for a moment?" "Sure." He braced himself, sensing the shift in her energy and fearing what it might entail. Once they stepped away from the crowd, Eleanor's facade cracked. "I want to be involved, but I feel like I'm not really accepted," she confessed. "Every time I try to reach out, I seem to push away instead of pulling closer." He crossed his arms, listening intently. "You need to understand that trust is built through consistent actions, not just words. You've been given opportunities, but often they've felt like performances instead of genuine efforts. Make every moment count by proving to the kids and to me that you're committed to being present. Even if it's challenging, I need you to show growth." Eleanor's expression softened. I know I messed up. I'm trying to become someone they can look up to, but it's hard when I feel like the villain in everyone's story. Every time I come around, I notice you're still holding back. Why won't you let me in?" Sighing, Tyler looked at her, wrestling between anger and compassion. "Because I need to see that it's real. Promises don't guarantee our children's happiness, and they don't heal old wounds. The kids deserve to know their mother will always be there for them, regardless of how this has played out." Her eyes glistened with unshed tears, an emotion he had long sought in her, but was still unsure whether it signified true remorse. "I will keep trying," she vowed softly. "Then show them," Tyler replied, feeling the heaviness lift minimally. "Make actions your commitments, but don't expect them to forgive you overnight." The tension between them began to thaw, even if only slightly. Tyler returned to his children, feeling the dull ache subside as the first hints of reconciliation started to surface. As the days passed into weeks, Eleanor worked hard to solidify her place, truly attempting to bond with both Tyler and the kids. She volunteered to plan Lucas's upcoming science fair, taking the extra steps to ensure her involvement was hands-on and integral. Tyler was impressed, but he remained cautiously optimistic, watching for signs that she was genuinely committed rather than merely trying to regain acceptance. However, just as he felt their relationship shift, a conversation with Sophia shook his confidence. One evening, nestled on the couch, Tyler shared the news of Eleanor's active engagement with the children. "That's great, Ty," Sophia responded, her tone unchanged, but he could hear the nuance hidden beneath it. "But are you ready for more complications? Maybe you should consider laying conditions down before she gets too comfortable." He nodded thoughtfully. "You're right. I'm not ready for the next wave of chaos. I understand that co-parenting is tricky, especially when dealing with someone like Eleanor," she said, frustration flaring. "But don't allow your kindness to be misread as weakness. You need to set boundaries for your own peace of mind." Determined, Tyler resolved to establish boundaries, but with the caveat of compassion. He wanted to foster freedom for his children while holding Eleanor accountable. He called for another meeting, this time at the park, where they had laid the groundwork for rebuilding their relationship. "I wanted to talk about how this is going to work moving forward," Tyler began, watching Eleanor carefully as they settled on a bench. He could see her confidence had returned. She was ready to defend herself. "Okay," she said, crossing her arms defensively, yet her tone was calm. "I appreciate your efforts to bond with the kids. That means the world to me, but I need structure in this too. We must agree on boundaries in terms of time, communication, and interactions, especially with Sophia and my expectations. I want that. I don't want to step on anyone's toes. If you could give me some guidelines, I will support you," Eleanor replied, her renewed sincerity sparking a kernel of hope. "You should communicate straightforwardly with the kids and me," Tyler said, feeling empowered by each word. "In exchange, I'm open to letting you have weekend visits more regularly." Eleanor's eyes widened slightly, excitement flickering across her face. "Really?" "Yeah, but only if I see consistency. You're gaining their trust, and it's a building process, so please take it one step at a time with them and with me. This can be positive, but we need real communication. If things get shaky again, I will need to scale back." "Understood," she said, and he noted how she instantly relaxed, as though she had not only accepted the terms, but embraced them. As weeks turned into months, Tyler watched as re-established routines began to anchor the family dynamic. Lucas and Sarah embraced shared time with Eleanor, and Tyler worked alongside Sophia, creating lasting bonds with their children, while maintaining open lines of communication without tension. Eleanor would often call or text for catch-ups about the kids, showcasing an earnest investment that slowly chipped away at the layers of anger that had once clouded Tyler's perspective. He began to breathe easier as past mistrust dissolved into the realm of the manageable. Time rolled on, each engagement stitching the fabric of their lives closer, revealing that perhaps they could heal, if not into what they were, then into something new altogether. One evening, as Tyler wrapped up dinner and the children cached their plates, Lucas asked, "Can we all go to the science fair next week? Mom is helping me with my project." A wave of emotions washed over him. This was a moment of transformation, where his children felt safe enough to invite their mother into their lives unconditionally. It was also validation of the efforts they had all made. "Absolutely, buddy. I'll be there, and I'm proud of you," Tyler responded, his heart swelling with pride at their shared triumph. One marked not just by acceptance, but by wholehearted unity. Beneath the nurturing glow of family warmth, Tyler Matthews understood that healing required vulnerability, courage, and proactive efforts. Through their growing relationship, he recognized that their lives would continue to flow like a river, a combination of joy, compassion, and endurance, a testament to the beloved family they were continually reshaping together. As the nocturnal silence enveloped their home, Tyler looked at Sophia, who had become his confidant, grounding force, and partner. He realized they had created not merely a family, but a tapestry, one woven from threads of survival, resilience, and an unmatched love that was a testament to the way they had come together, overcoming treachery and striving toward the uncertain horizons of hope. As the science fair approached, excitement filled the Matthews household. Lucas buzzed with energy, prattling on about his project, a model solar system that he had sweated over for weeks. Tyler watched him with pride, appreciating the hard work and dedication his son had put into bringing his idea to life. Sarah, too, was enthusiastic, eager to support her brother's efforts. "Dad, do you think Lucas will win the blue ribbon?" she asked, her eyes wide with hope. "I believe he has a solid shot at it." "Remember, it's not just about winning. It's about showing off all the hard work he's done," Tyler replied, ruffling Lucas's hair affectionately. The family atmosphere felt harmonious, a refreshing change that Tyler cherished. The day of the science fair arrived, and Tyler could feel the electric excitement pulsing through him as they entered the school gymnasium, transformed into a vibrant showcase of creativity and learning. Tables lined the space, each adorned with colorful projects created by students. It was buzzing with parents, children, and teachers, exchanging stories and encouragement, a testament to the educational community's dedication. Eleanor arrived shortly after, wearing a nervous smile as she scanned the room. Tyler sensed tension rising in her, and he approached her, ensuring that they would be united in purpose today. For the children. "You ready?" he asked quietly. "I think so. A little anxious," she admitted, her vulnerability creeping through. "Just stick with Lucas. He'll be your guide. Remember, he looks to you for support right now," Tyler encouraged, watching her determination swell as she nodded. As they navigated through the crowd, Lucas rushed ahead to set up his project. Tyler couldn't help but feel a mix of nostalgia and hope as he observed their dynamic. The shy, tentative smile Eleanor flashed each time she whispered advice or coaching to Lucas revealed a side of her he had longed to see. Once the projects were set, the fair commenced. Parents and students eagerly moved from table to table, sharing insights and offering encouragement. Tyler watched proudly as Lucas explained his solar system, enthusiasm radiating from his every word. Eleanor stood beside him, beaming with maternal pride as she contributed tidbits of knowledge that complemented their son's presentation. "Look, Dad, I made the planets rotate," Lucas exclaimed, spinning a small model of Earth with his finger. A few teachers gathered around intrigued, nodding approvingly. "Great job, buddy. The details in your model are impressive," Tyler said, patting Lucas's back. He felt a surge of pride well up as Lucas navigated questions with confidence, illuminating the room around him. While Lucas thrived in the engagement, Tyler took a moment to check in on Sarah, who was creating her own masterpiece. She had built a volcano that erupted with baking soda and vinegar. When the time came for her demonstration, excitement filled her as she successfully triggered the eruption. "Look, Dad, it worked," she squealed, her joy infectious. "We definitely need to celebrate this later," Tyler laughed, swept up in the jubilance of the moment. As the day continued, Tyler couldn't shake the feeling of contentment that descended upon him. He had navigated such a tumultuous journey, and within these simple family interactions, he found fulfillment. He stole glances at Eleanor, who was cheering proudly for Lucas and interacting warmly with other parents. The culmination of the science fair saw a mix of awards being given, and the atmosphere was thick with anticipation. Tyler felt a twinge of anxiety. He didn't want the day to turn sour if Lucas didn't win. But as it turned out, Lucas was selected for the third-place ribbon. "Congratulations, buddy. That's incredible," Tyler exclaimed as he enveloped Lucas in a warm embrace, while he beamed with pride. Eleanor knelt beside them and they pulled Lucas into a group hug, one Tyler never expected to witness. "I'm so proud of you. You worked incredibly hard," Eleanor added enthusiastically, her voice genuine and full of warmth. Tyler felt a wave of relief wash over him, realizing how harmonious they had all come to be, even amid their imperfections. "Sophia would be proud too," Tyler mentioned to Lucas as they stood there celebrating. Later that evening, as they returned home with smiles plastered across their faces, Lucas danced around, showing off his ribbon. The home echoed with laughter and joy, evenings like these reminding Tyler of the beauty of family. even when entwined with complexities. "Now what shall we do next?" Sophia asked as they cooked dinner together. "How about a movie night with popcorn?" Tyler proposed, grateful for the lightheartedness that had returned following their chaotic days. As they settled in together, Eleanor joined them in a communal spirit, sitting close to Lucas and Sarah, sharing popcorn and blanket space. The movie played on in the background, but the laughter and banter shared among them proved to be the real highlight of the evening. Towards the film's climax, Tyler felt a wave of affection wash over him. It wasn't just a night of family bonding. It felt like they were cultivating something greater than their fragmented past. Together, they were beginning to forge a new identity, each of them redefined by the shared laughter and loyalty that they were erecting. When the credits rolled, Sarah turned to Eleanor, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. "Mom, can we do another science project together next time?" she asked, her innocent hope full of possibility. Eleanor hesitated, a flicker of emotion passing across her face. "I would love that, sweetheart. I really would," she replied, her sincerity palpable. As the children got ready for bed, Tyler and Eleanor shared a moment of quiet conversation in the hallway. "Thank you for making today such a wonderful experience," she stated, her voice steady. "I think this was the first time I truly felt accepted by all of you." "Eleanor, it's a process," Tyler replied, mindful of their history. "This can go either way. You have a chance to keep this up. Just remember to remain consistent. You have to earn the trust every day. I understand." "I promise to keep trying," she said, the resolve igniting within her. Weeks swept by, and Tyler felt a tangible shift within their family. Holidays approached, and amidst the season's joyous festivities, Eleanor integrated seamlessly into their family interactions. From holiday preparations to cheerful shopping excursions, the kids delighted in their mother's newfound enthusiasm and passion. One chilly evening, as they baked holiday cookies together, the kitchen filled with the tantalizing aroma of sugar and spice. The children lagged especially in the frosting section. Laughter echoed as smears of icing created fun, sticky chaos across the table. "Hey, focus on decorating, not eating," Tyler teased, taking a bite of a cookie while pretending to admonish them. A lighthearted reminder that helped alleviate the stresses of the past that sometimes lurked in Tyler's mind. As they decorated their cookies, Lucas and Sarah looked up at Eleanor, their faces bright with mischief. "How about we save one for Santa?" Sarah suggested, her tiny hands gripping a bright green icing tube as she concentrated intently on her cookie masterpiece. "That sounds perfect. I'll help you guys wrap them up nicely," Eleanor replied, her enthusiasm lighting up the mood while they all worked in concert. Later, in the cozy glow of the holiday lights, they gathered in the living room, admiring their handiwork as Tyler set up the tree. Eleanor exchanged looks of affection with her children, night shadows flickering within them, but a sense of serenity filled the room as they embraced the holiday spirit. "Let's put the cookies out for Santa before bed," Lucas shouted, jumping up. After they placed the beautifully decorated cookies on a plate with care, Tyler tucked the children in, feeling a sense of peace wash over him. They had cultivated a home imbued with compassion, laughter, and hope, one that reflected the promise of a new beginning. Tyler stood at the doorway, glancing back at his children nestled beneath their covers, dreams swirling in their minds. The world around them had transformed. Their family dynamics transformed along with it. Beyond the trials of their past lay profound lessons rooted in themselves, of love, resilience, and redemption. Tyler recognized that it didn't matter where they started. What mattered was how they moved forward, both as individuals and as a family. Each day became a testament to their evolution, a journey toward acceptance and unwavering solidarity, proving that no circumstance could overshadow the power of trust, love, and hope. For Tyler Matthews, life kept unfolding like a story, filled with unexpected chapters, a testament to the endless capacity for renewal, a journey of embracing dreams and turning adversities into opportunities for growth. And at the center of it all lay the unbreakable bond of family, the anchor guiding him through the tranquil yet ever-evolving tides of their lives. As the holiday season unfolded, the Matthews household became bustling with excitement and anticipation for the new year. Beyond the horizon of winter festivities lay a sense of renewal, an opportunity to solidify relationships and grow stronger. Tyler remained cautiously optimistic about Eleanor's reintegration into their lives, recognizing that she was making a genuine effort. Yet, the past still loomed, casting a shadow over moments that could be enjoyed fully. The New Year's Eve party was approaching quickly, and Tyler decided to host a gathering to celebrate the fresh beginnings and set intentions for the coming year. Sophia helped him plan an evening filled with laughter, games, and their closest friends and family, creating an atmosphere of warmth and joy. "Let's invite the kids' friends too," Sarah suggested one afternoon, her eyes sparkling as she helped Tyler decorate the house. "That's a great idea. Let's make it a family-friendly bash," Tyler agreed, thrilled by her enthusiasm. As invitations went out, the excitement in the home bubbled like a pot about to boil over. Eleanor volunteered to help with preparations, and the children rallied around the idea of facing the year with renewed joy. When the evening finally arrived, the Matthews home was a heartwarming cacophony of laughter, flashing lights, and the delicious aroma of food wafting through every room. Tyler glanced around, absorbing the jubilant atmosphere. Children scampered about, chasing each other while the adults mingled, transforming the evening into a kaleidoscope of warmth and connection. "Ty, this looks amazing," Sophia exclaimed as she set down a tray of hors d'oeuvres. "You've outdone yourself. Honestly, it's a team effort." "The kids helped too," he replied, gesturing to Lucas and Sarah, putting the finishing touches on a giant banner that read, "Happy New Year!" Eleanor moved through the crowd confidently, her laughter mingling with everyone else's. Tyler couldn't deny that she seemed more vibrant and engaged. She was actively participating, conversing with friends, and jovially encouraging the kids in their games. He felt a pang of hope, mixing with the old caution he still held. As the evening progressed, they transitioned to the living room for a countdown to midnight. Fireworks lit up the night sky outside, sending light through the windows, painting the walls with colors of celebration. Tyler found a comfortable spot on the couch with Sophia, who smiled warmly at him. "Are you ready for this?" she asked softly, her voice laced with excitement. "Ready as I'll ever be. This feels different." "Better," he replied, surveying the room filled with laughter, love, and connection. When the countdown began, the children huddled together with anticipation, chanting numbers in a rhythm that drowned out adult conversations. Tyler felt the rush of joy rise as they reached 3, his heart pounding along with the beat of their eagerness. 2, 1. "Happy New Year!" they all shouted in unison. Amid the cheers, Tyler rose to embrace Lucas and Sarah, their faces beaming with innocence and excitement. As the clock struck midnight, they joined in on group hugs, the room vibrating with energy. "Let's make a wish," Eleanor suggested, joining the children in front of a table adorned with sparklers and sweet treats. As the kids lit the sparklers, bright stars danced in the air, and the spirit of celebration ignited the very essence of their gathering. Tyler marveled at Eleanor's change, the way she effortlessly engaged with their children and others in the room. "Mom, I wish for another happy year with everyone," Lucas shouted, twirling around with delight. "Me too, I want to be with all my friends and have fun," Sarah echoed, her enthusiasm infectious. Tyler felt a pang of emotion as he witnessed the hope in their eyes. The wishes they made were genuine, articulating dreams of unbroken families and continuous love. Later, as the celebrations began to wind down, partygoers gradually departed, leaving the joyful noise of their laughter echoing in the halls. Tyler and Sophia began to tidy up, but he couldn't help but linger in moments previously overshadowed by doubt concerning Eleanor's intentions. "Tonight was a success," Sophia declared, placing the last of the empty plates in the dishwasher. "It felt so seamless. I think everyone enjoyed it, especially the kids." "Agreed," Tyler replied, catching sight of Eleanor as she lingered in the hallway with the children. "She really stepped up tonight." "Absolutely," Sophia affirmed, leaning against the counter as they exchanged knowing glances. "You're doing the right thing by allowing her to reintegrate. This could lead to significantly better outcomes for all of you." After everyone headed home, Tyler invited Eleanor to stay a little longer to chat. He wanted to acknowledge her efforts, but also to address any lingering concerns. "Eleanor," he began once they found a quiet spot in the living room, "I wanted to say thank you for how you engaged with the kids tonight. It was wonderful to see you participate so fully in their joy." Her eyes lit up, and a sense of genuine gratitude washed over her. "Thank you for letting me be part of it. It felt incredible being included. I've missed that connection so much. I can see it. And I want you to keep that spirit alive. The kids thrive when they feel you're interested and engaged. Trust is a two-way street," Tyler asserted gently, maintaining his resolve while speaking earnestly. "I know. This year, I want to prove to you both that I can be the mother they deserve." "I'll keep working on myself, I promise," Eleanor replied, her vulnerability evident. "Let's take it one day at a time. Consistency is key. Until then, let's focus on the positives," Tyler said, envisioning a world where their family dynamic could blossom further as time moved on. As the first dawn of the new year broke through the window, Tyler reflected on how far they had come since the chaotic chapters of the past had begun. Change was possible, but it required commitment and sincerity, qualities Eleanor was beginning to embody. In the days that followed, the Matthews family made a focused effort to build on the positive momentum. They came together regularly, sharing meals and outings that allowed them to explore and deepen their connections. Tyler kept the lines of communication open, ensuring that the foundation they were building on was stable, fortified by love and trust. One particularly serene Saturday afternoon, as they gathered for a picnic at the local park, the children launched into a game of tag, their laughter ringing through the air. Tyler found himself sitting next to Eleanor on a blanket, sipping lemonade and watching them. "Remember when we always used to have picnics like this?" Eleanor mused, a hint of nostalgia washing over her voice. "Yeah, those were some good times. Under the sun, just us," Tyler said, warmth enveloping him at the memory. "There was a real innocence in those moments. We can recapture that," she said earnestly, turning to him, her expression sincere. "I truly want to rebuild our family. It's been a journey, but I believe we can find happiness again." Tyler nodded, recognizing the honesty in her tone. "As long as you keep showing up for them, and for yourself, we will continue moving in the right direction. Just remember, it takes time." "Time is what I'm willing to invest," she replied, her determination evident. "I want to show my love for them every day." As the sun shone down upon them, illuminating the scene, intertwined in clarity, Tyler felt a sense of peace crystallize within him. The path forward was still winding and fraught with challenges, but he had renewed faith in the potential for healing and happiness. In watching their children revive that pure joy, he realized that forgiveness often comes from seeing the efforts others are making to change. But trust was delicately earned anew in every shared moment. Every laughter, every bond formed, every commitment made. These were the ties that would string together a brighter future. As they packed up the picnic and headed home, Tyler could feel the love stretching and growing, wrapping itself around each family member, fortifying them against future storms they might face. The endless potential for renewal pulsed like a heartbeat through their lives, reminding them that together they could navigate the unpredictable currents of life, ever embracing the promise of new beginnings.